Welcome. My name is Rachel. I am a holistic health and wellness coach, and we are talking about one of my absolute favorite topics today, and that is growing your own food. So, I want to start by asking you a quick question. Is your food source sustainable? And it's kind of a good question these days because it seems like there's been some issues in our food source. So, today we want to talk about how you can grow your own organic food for literally pennies all year long so that you know what's in the food, you know where it's coming from. And of course, growing is extremely exciting and very, very rewarding. So let's get right to it. Now, this is one of my absolute favorite quotes, and it says, growing your own food is like printing your own money. And that is so true. Now, we're going to be crunching some numbers a little bit later on how you can save a lot of money when you grow your own food. So we're going to be talking today about the Tower Garden growing system. And the reason why I'm jumping right in to talk about the Tower Garden today and growing your own food is because it is a system that I have been growing with personally for 10 years. I have 3 of these systems, and they literally paid for themselves within the first 3 to 6 months. And we have been eating off of them ever since. And as you can imagine, in 10 years, I actually crunched some numbers a long time ago, and I figured that in 10 years, growing 3 towers, I've saved about $83,000 in groceries. It seems like a lot, but it's absolutely true when you start crunching the numbers. So we're going to crunch a little of those numbers today. So today I'm going to go through about 10 reasons to grow your own organic food all year long with Tower Garden and more. All right. So I'm going to start today by showing you a quick video from the creator of Tower Garden. Sorry, whoops. And his name is Tim Blank, and he'll talk a little bit about who he is, but I really, really love his story. So I'm just going to play this really quickly. So just sit back. Hopefully you've got your coffee and enjoy.
I grew up in Western North Dakota, and if you've ever been to Western North Dakota, you'll know that it's a place often referred to as God's country because it's a place where the bison still roam free and agriculture dominates the landscape. And I guess that's what where the seed of agriculture started in me. Growing up in a family with 5 siblings, we didn't get to take a vacation every summer, but by the time I was in high school, my family had the opportunity to take a vacation to Walt Disney World. And if you can imagine what an experience that was. And out of all the 4 theme parks at the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida, the one that really stood out with me was Epcot, because Epcot was the place of the future. It was very inspirational to see all the different nationalities working together and all the different technologies. And the place that stood out the most to me was a special ride at Epcot called The Land. It was an hour-long backstage behind-the-scenes tour where they grew food crops from all over the world hydroponically. The thing I loved most about that backstage tour at The Land was it inspired me. I knew in that moment what I was going to go to school for and what I was going to do with the rest of my life. So I went and got a degree in horticulture, and eventually I came back to work as an advanced intern at Walt Disney World. I was very blessed to get an internship at The Land at Epcot. Thousands of people applied for that position, and they only selected 10. And I used that opportunity to grow and develop my skills in hydroponic food production. And long after my day was ended, I volunteered in the various horticulture disciplines like plant pathology, entomology, biotechnology to learn everything I could about hydroponic food production and this technology. Because even though I didn't have a master's degree in these various research disciplines, these doctors saw the potential in me and hired me on after my internship to conduct high-end scientific research with both NASA and the Department of Energy right there at the Land at Epcot. During that first 7 years at the Land, I had an opportunity to learn just about everything that related to hydroponic and aeroponic food production. I got to learn about beneficial insects, microorganisms, plant pathology, biotechnology, and allowed me to move into greenhouse operations manager of the entire Land greenhouse facility in 2000, and I kept that position until 2005. In retrospect, I think it was those 12 years with the Walt Disney World Company that gave me the wisdom and the experience to go out and do something on my own. In 2005, I felt like that was a great opportunity to launch Future Growing, which was a company that would take very similar technologies and make them available for everybody, whether they be a commercial grower or for an individual homeowner who wanted to grow food right in their own backyard. So, over the earlier years of the company, we developed the world's first patented vertical aeroponic technology called the Tower Garden. The Tower Garden can grow everything from a head of lettuce to an edible herb to a beautiful beefsteak tomato. And the idea was that every single crop that a homeowner would want to grow could be done right in the comfort of their own backyard. On the commercial side of our vertical aeroponic food production business, we've set up many urban and rooftop farms around the country, and even in many cases had some of the world's first of its kinds. For example, going back to 2009, we had the world's first certified green building with aquaponic and aeroponic food production on the roof. In 2010, we opened Manhattan's first aeroponic roof to table food farm that supported the restaurant down below. And now in 2011, at the Chicago O'Hare Airport, we opened the world's very first aeroponic food farm in an airport terminal. And all that food is used to feed many of the 67 restaurants at the O'Hare Airport. This dream I had that was rooted all the way back to my childhood about doing something for humanity, finding a better way of growing food, is finally coming to fruition. Seeing these projects come alive excites me more than it ever did. I have a hard time sleeping at night. I can't wait to get that next aeroponic tower garden project out there. So living life to the plus is living your passion. I wake up every single day doing what I love to do, and that is helping people grow fresh, healthy food right in their own backyard.
And I hope you really loved watching that, because I always love seeing Tim Blank talk, because he is such a innovator in the Tower Garden. And of course, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the Tower Garden. So, just like him, I am super excited to grow the food and share this with you. And it's just so awesome that we've been able to bring this technology into our own homes, because, for those of us who do live in Calgary or Canada, we do not have the longest or best growing system. And this gives us or a growing season. So this gives us an opportunity to be able to grow our own food a little bit longer during the year. So here's a few reasons why I personally love growing the Tower Garden. So here's a picture of me of the tower that I grew inside last year before I pushed it outside. And it absolutely just boomed in the house. So on the top there, you'll see I've got some kale. There is parsley hidden under there somewhere. And then all those big leaves are collards. I actually planted a ton of collards. Didn't realize how amazing they grew, and had so many, I was giving them away. But collards, if you're not sure about collards, they're great, just lightly sauteed in a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper. And they're also great for raw wraps. So with the Tower Garden, one of the number one cool reasons, and all of these reasons are supported by research that's been done on the Tower Garden. So we absolutely know that they are fact. So it has been shown that the Tower Garden, when you grow in the Tower Garden, the produce grows in half the time of a conventional garden. So that means that, from seed to eating, you can have your food growing in about half the time. Now, of course, it depends on the seed, on the time of it, but it grows very fast. The next one is that it uses less than 10% of the water of a conventional garden. So here's the reason why. So when you think about a conventional garden where we have got growing in soil, when you water in the soil, we get the water that runs off into the earth, and then you never see it again. So when you're growing with the Tower Garden, as you can see, the bottom basin is actually filled with water. The water is then pushed with a pump through the center, and then the water comes sprinkling down on the roots. So that mineralized water, so we've got some earth and sea minerals in there, is actually on there to, it helps water the roots. And so we're, of course, using less water, which also saves on your bill. All right. Number 3, no weeding. Time is money, right? I mean, I have never really been much of a gardener because I personally hate weeding. My mom has always been a gardener, so I've been blessed to grown up with fresh food and fresh produce, so I know how good it tastes when we actually have our own garden. But weeding sucks. Weeding takes a lot of time, and it's, backbreaking, and it's not fun. and it takes our time. So there is no weeding at all necessary with a tower garden because you're not growing in soil, you're actually growing in a rock wool base. Now, number 4, the tower garden includes all the tools and supplies that you need. So what does that mean? You don't need to buy soil. You don't need to buy gardening tools, that sort of thing. You literally are throwing a seed in, throwing some earth minerals into the water, and just taking care of your plants. So that doesn't require the gardening gloves and the tools because you've got everything you need right there. Oops, I think I went the wrong way. All right, fewer ground pest problems. And that's what I love about growing indoors. So I always have at least one tower growing inside. Even if I bring some outside, I keep at least one in all year round. And the reason for that is because, as we all know, sometimes when we're outside, you've got more pests. So like last year when I brought my kale out, it was then destroyed by these moths. And I was asking my mom, like, what is this? And so she said it's some sort of moth that went after kale and cabbages and that sort of thing. And when you have it inside, you don't get those as much. So you do sometimes get some of the little aphids and such in your home, but we use an organic neem oil and that usually takes really good care of it. But you don't get as many, so you don't have to deal with the pests as much. Number 6, so the tower garden is made with a food grade plastic, so it does not, and it's been proven through studies that it does not leach chemicals into the produce. So of course, as we know, that's really important. It is a very, very hard plastic. As I mentioned earlier, I've actually had my tower gardens for 10 years and they still look brand new. So I believe when you purchase a tower garden through the company, it does come with at least a 5-year warranty. So you do have a great warranty, but I'm not sure why they don't even do it more because, like I said, I've got 3 towers and I've had them for 10 years and they're just fine. So, which is really cool. Number 7, there's a double UV protective coating, so which means it'll last in the sunshine for years. It doesn't break down. It doesn't degrade. Like if other plastic was sitting outside or even metal is sitting outside, it tends to degrade. As I mentioned, 10 years, mine have not degraded. So the biggest thing is keeping them clean, taking care of them like anything else. Okay, and they will last. Number 8, this is extremely important for me personally, and I'm sure it's important for you. If you are interested in learning how to grow your own food, you're probably really concerned about what is going on your food when you buy it in the grocery stores. So when you're growing through the tower garden, if you're using the organic sea and earth minerals that are provided from the Tower Garden Company, it uses no harmful fertilizers, pesticides, or herbicides. So I don't condone growing the tower garden with anything other than the organic earth and sea minerals that are provided from the tower garden. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number 1, the earth and sea minerals have actually been tested for its effectiveness. It's been tested to ensure by a third party to ensure that there is no harmful fertilizers, pesticides, or chemicals in those earth and sea minerals. And unfortunately, when things are not tested and we're just buying things off the shelves, we never know for sure what is in those things. So if you're someone who is concerned about your health, really important to be using earth organic sea and earth minerals that don't have fertilizers, pesticides, or chemicals. Now, this is amazing because when we're buying from a grocery store, we have no idea what has been sprayed on that produce. Even what's called organic produce can still be sprayed. So they may not have technically been sprayed while they're growing, but while they're being shipped, apparently they can still be sprayed. So, you never know. Number 9, vine ripened produce is proven more nutritious. So the produce that's actually comes out of the tower garden, when studied against high quality soil, has been proven to be 3 times more nutritious from the tower garden than through high quality soil grown. So that is just a testament to the earth and sea minerals that are being used in the water, and that is amazing. Now, when we're talking about vine ripened, you can't get any fresher than tower to table, and it tastes so good. I actually made a salad last night. I did kale, butter lettuce, and basil that was on my tower. And we just did a little of basil infused olive oil, and I really love this peach vinaigrette and a tiny little bit, like half a teaspoon of each. And I literally said to my boyfriend, you don't even need the sauce on here. This produce tastes so good. And I cannot eat lettuce out of a store like that without dousing it in dressing. So it just goes to show that when our produce is actually allowed to grow to its peak ripeness, it tastes so much better. Now, if you look at the picture here, you'll see in the very top, this is the home version, and I'm going to go over the two different versions in just a moment here. But you'll see the top squares on top. So that's actually a microgreens kit. And so that's if somebody really loves the little greens, you can grow them in there, but you can grow regular plants in there also. Number 10, it costs $3 a day for a year, and then it's yours for 10 to 20 years. And I know 10 to 20 years is a big span. The reason why I'm saying that is I've had mine for at least 10 years. I plan on having it, forever. And a friend of mine's had hers for longer than that, ever since they came out. I think they've been out for about 15 years now, and she's had hers for longer than that. Looks brand new. And here's the cool thing. They really don't cost that much. They are a small investment to save thousands of dollars on your grocery bill. So we're going to crunch some numbers here. So here's some of the cost savings. So I actually listened to a convention yesterday, and one of the guys from Tower Garden Corporate was talking, and he said, all right, let's crunch a little bit of numbers here. This is just basics. So let's say in an average week, a household spends, let's say a family of 4 spends $65 a week on produce. Now, I'm not sure about you, but I have gone and bought those boxes of salads for $7 a pop, got them home. They taste like crap, and half of them are wilted, and they end up going in the garbage. So when you think about just that alone, how much waste is happening, this is a no-brainer. So when you think about that, so let's just say, for average sake, you're a family of 4, you're spending $65 a week on produce. That's about $33.80 per year. Now, the total cost of the tower is depending on which one you get and what accessories you get, all in your indoor, outdoor opportunity. At max, it's about $1,200. Let's say a max. So then let's say you don't have to buy those produce. So you're saving $33.80 a year minus the $1,200. And I threw $200 in there just for extra minerals, which you only need to change about once or twice a year, depending on how many towers you have. And then, a little tiny increase in your utilities bill. I know ours, I think, only goes up about $10 a month with 2 towers going at all times. So it's not, and that $200 probably, is probably max. So it's not a lot. So you're saving $1,900 per year by just purchasing a tower. Now, after year 1, the tower is technically paid for. So then after that, that savings is about $3,000 or more per year, because all you're doing is buying seeds at that point. So like I mentioned, the earth and sea minerals, I have 2 or 3 going at all times, and I maybe replenish them once a year. So it's not even a huge cost. As we know, seeds are just a few dollars, even if you're getting organic. I buy organic heirloom seeds. They're maybe $5 a pack, and you're getting 3-4 years worth of seeds. So as you can see, the cost savings of a tower garden is it's a no-brainer investment for sure. So here's the 2 different towers. So this is the Tower Garden Flex, which is on the left-hand side. This is now considered your indoor-outdoor use. So I have 3 of these because this is what they were when they first came out. The Tower Garden Flex has a larger base. It holds about 20 gallons of water. It's got 20 ports, but you can also get extensions that you can add 8 more. Lights and wheels on this one are sold separately, because if you are growing this outdoors, you might not need both of those accessories, so they are an option. So that's the kind of a bigger option. So they say you need about a 2-foot by 2-foot space for the Tower Garden Flex. Now, the home garden is recently new. It's about a year old or so. It's ideal for indoor use, but it can also be purchased without lights, and you can grow it outside, say on a deck. It's a very streamlined design. It's easy to get through doorways, so a person can maneuver this around. Let's say you're keeping this in your living room and you want to drag it over to the sink to fill it up. It's easy to roll around. This one has a water level monitor, which is actually kind of cool. I know a friend of mine says she loves her monitor because she can just be sitting on her couch, look at her tower in the kitchen and go, oh, I guess I need to put some water in this thing. So it's really easy. So with this one, it's got 16 planting ports, 16 smaller ports for your baby greens and herbs. So this one has a total of 32 ports because of the smaller ones on the top. So Tower Garden Home is an amazing one to have. My boyfriend and I are going to be investing in, yes, another tower garden. We're going to get about 4 or 5, if not more. We're looking into actually starting a tower garden farm. So that's really exciting. So exciting to have this one. So those are the two different, the Flex and the Home. Both grow really well, just depends on your needs. So if you're kind of thinking, oh, I'd really like to get one of these, I'm just not sure which one would be the best for me. After the presentation, I just want you to reach out to me because I love having a conversation and we can talk about what your needs and which ones are best. And then, of course, making sure that you understand the warranty and everything that is covered when you do invest in a tower garden. All right, so if you decide that it's something that you want to do, it says when you order today, of course, you don't have to do that. But I always give people a getting started consult. So when you purchase a tower from me, I always like to do that because I want to make sure you're set up right. It actually breaks my heart when I see that people aren't using their tower gardens, they're stored somewhere, or they're trying to get rid of them because they have no idea how much money they're saving and how much they're missing out on growing their own food. So I want to make sure that you're all set up. I have recently started a Facebook grow group. So we're building that now. So we're going to bring that in. But there are so many tower garden specific groups and chats and things that you can follow. If nothing else, get started by following the Tower Garden by Juice Plus page, the Facebook page if you're on Facebook, or just look it up online and you'll get a lot of information there. And I'll put the link to my Tower Garden website in the chat when we're all done today. And then access to at-home care service. So this is something that we are hoping to start very shortly. Not everybody likes to take care of their own tower garden. It's kind of like you get an exotic fish tank. You don't want to take care of it. You hire somebody to come in and do that. And that is an option in the future as well. So that is the tower garden. And that's a little loud, but I wanted to show you my tower garden from this morning. So we actually just clipped off a whole bunch of this produce last night to have a salad. So it's looking a little bit bare, but I just want to show you my tower as of this morning. So as you can see, there's plants at numerous stages of growth. On the bottom left-hand side is my purple kale. That and around the back is the purple and green kale. That, again, we just kind of destroyed last night by taking a whole bunch off. But you'll see in the back, the basil is growing really, really well. I actually inherited that basil from a good friend of mine. She grew it on hers, ended up having too much, and she gave it to me, which is really cool. Got some butter lettuce on there as well. Now you'll notice that we do have some pots. So we do still like to grow things out of the tower just to have more stuff. We actually started, if you can see that green pot there, we started some tomatoes from a seed that, we ate the tomatoes and popped them in the soil and we grew them like that. Now you can grow tomatoes in the tower garden. We just chose not to put them in the tower garden this time. So lots of different things that you can grow. So it's really, really fun. And I just love the look of the lights on the towers. They're great. All right, so I want to finish shortly. So I'm going to show you this next. I'm almost done here. I want to show you this video really quickly because this guy, Stephen Ritz, I, again, was so blessed to hear him speak in the conference yesterday. But he is a teacher on a mission, and he is someone who has completely transformed the school, so the Bronx that he lives in. He has been using the Tower Garden and teaching kids how to grow their own food and inspiring them. And he has now taken his Tower Garden school curriculum across the country. And if you're somebody who knows anybody or a teacher that would love to do this, reach out to me because we have got an amazing curriculum that teachers can use to help kids grow their own food. So I'm going to show you this quick video and we'll see you after.
Hi, I'm Steve Rich, a teacher at Public School 55 here in the South Bronx, and I make a difference by growing food 4 stories up in my classroom 365 days a year, right here in the South Bronx. Who wants to grow the butterhead lettuce? Okay, I became a teacher because it seemed like the right thing to do. And then I got big. The magic hit. Every day here is an opportunity to do something great, to change lives, to transform a community. This is a community that needs education. This is a community that needs motivation. This is a community that needs connections to bigger things. And we are the conduit for that. I'm not a science teacher by trade. I'm certainly not a farmer. Many years ago, someone sent me a box of daffodil bulbs. We hid it behind the radiator, and the heat and the steam from the radiator forced it, and the kids saw this beautiful, blooming thing of life. I had an epiphany. And that began the work of actually, planting seeds. It planted seeds in my mind, and kids felt great. They felt wonderful, and I wanted to replicate that success. 1, 2, 3. Si se puede. We have a taco. Food is a non-negotiable. We have children here who have never seen what real food is, and we also have kids here who've emigrated from other countries in search of food. We are 37% food insecure in this community. We have 40% unemployment in this community. 99% of the kids in this school qualify for free and reduced lunch. And to think that food is the entry point for public education, for reading, for writing, for literacy, for math, for aspiration and inspiration is incredible. But most importantly, by growing food, we're creating life. We're planting seeds. And that's what this is about. We are harvesting hope and cultivating minds. We made holes and planted seeds. Then 3 days it will grow and grow and grow. So this is the soilless system. Here's day 3. What we've been doing here is other classes. Mr. Steve, he's teaching us how it's natural. He taught us about pH, like it's bad and good. Then you can eat more healthy vegetables and fruit. We have 96% daily attendance. That's an opportunity for me to get in and get those little brains cooking. Retention's going up. Faculty involvement is going up. On Sunday, when I walk the street and kids are like, I can't wait to see you tomorrow. We've got thousands of residents out there looking at us from the projects with our classroom glowing in the middle of the night saying, what's going on in there? And that's exciting. We're creating awareness and excitement. Check the pH of what? Not everything. When you teach kids about nature, they learn to nurture. And when children learn to nurture, we as a society collectively embrace our better nature.
He believes in the Bronx, and he believes in the students of the Bronx and their potential. Any student he works with, he connects and keeps in contact. He is always thinking of them.
Every day is an opportunity to do something great. My favorite crop is organically grown citizens, graduates, members of the middle class, kids who are going to college, kids who are voting, kids who are staying out of jail. And now, here at an elementary school, we're finding it is easier to raise healthy children than fix broken men. And what could be more inspiring than that?
Job creation programs, family health programs, cooking programs. The future is unlimited.
Teaching kids to count is cool, but teaching them what counts is also critical. And while I'm very much about ABCDs, this is also about asset-based community development. So we want to bring the walls as far out into the community as possible and bring the community as close. So if we can knock down stereotypes and bridge kids and bridge schools around things that are going to benefit the environment and the world as a whole, wow.
So fun, isn't it? I have seen him speak numerous times, and I've seen that video numerous times, and every time I get tingles because it's so exciting to hear what he's doing with those kids. And my favorite quote that he says on a regular basis is, "It is easier to raise healthy children than fix broken men." And that is such a mind-blowing quote because it is so true. And I don't feel that it's happening enough in our world. So that is why, I am on this mission to inspire healthy living around the world as well with whole food nutrition. And I hope that in some way today I'm inspiring you as well. Now, I would be remiss before we finish up if I didn't quickly talk about the other whole food products that Juice Plus is well known for. Juice Plus has been around for over 30 years, and they started with their whole food plant-based powders. And these powders provide whole food nutrition that has been vine ripened, that has not been sprayed with chemicals, pesticides, and other herbicide crap that's in our food today. And as you can see here, this is just a few of the fruits and vegetables that are in this product. And again, I was so blessed to have an opportunity to listen to doctors and other healthcare professionals yesterday talking about the studies, the third-party research studies that have been done on this product, and then their own studies that they've done just to see, you know, what it does to their own patients. And, you know, as much as I've heard this information for the last 10 years, it's just still mind-blowing and inspiring to hear that Juice Plus really is the leader in plant-based nutrition, because they've been doing it the longest. They were the first ones that did this. And, you know, no other company, from what, you know, we can all see with the research, they'll just never be able to keep up. There's 47 high quality third-party research studies that have been done on this product. And I always laugh, you know, it was the research that got me excited about this product at first, but I always laugh. It's like, why do we need so much research on fruits and vegetables? We know it's healthy for us. And yet at the same time, it's really nice to have that research so that, you know, when you're investing in your health and you're taking this product, you know for a fact that it's working. Where unfortunately you take something just off the shelves, you have no idea what's in it, and you have no idea if it's working. All right, and the other thing is the plant-based omegas. This is a product that's been out for the last 2 or 3 years, I think. It's very, very exciting. What I personally love about the omega is that we know we need healthy fats. We all know that we need healthy omega fats. And the fats, these fats help support the heart, the brain, the joints, the skin, and the eyes. Since I've been taking it, my knees don't snap, crackle, and pop anymore, which is kind of nice. What I love about this particular omega is it's 100% plant-based, and the biochemist who's responsible for creating products created this one from start to finish, all quality control. What she said in there is that from the capsule to the product, it's all 100% raw. It is not heated, because as soon as something is heated, which most omegas, actually all omegas are if they're in a regular capsule, she was saying, the oxidation process happens almost immediately. So she said, by the time you get it in your system, it's all been oxidized and it's rancid, right? Which is what happens with most fish-based omega products. So to me, that grosses me out. And to me, it's also saying, why am I spending my money on something that's actually harming me? Doesn't make sense, right? So that's why I personally love this one. We're skipping the fish, going right to the fish food, which is the algae, and the sea buckthorn oil is another one that's been known to have high levels of omega. So super excited about this product, one of my favorite. And then we've got the complete shake. So again, so awesome to be able to hear these these doctors talking the other day, talking about the studies that have been done on this, but also just the amount of fiber that's in this. So I did a session with one of my groups this morning, and I kind of just recently talked about, you know, we're all, you know, everybody's so concerned about taking probiotics. And yes, we need to have good health and gut bacteria, but probiotics, there's no sense taking a probiotic if you don't have proper prebiotics, which is the food to sustain the probiotics. So if you're not getting enough rich fiber foods, which unfortunately most people aren't nowadays, the probiotics that you're ingesting and spending all this money on are just going to die off anyway. Or, and I didn't know this before, but this doctor was talking about how if these probiotics start to get hungry, they'll start to eat the lining in your guts. I didn't know that. Maybe that was something I should have known, but I was like, oh, I never thought about it that way. So she's like, you've got to feed these little guys with the healthy prebiotics, which of course is your fiber-rich food. And the Complete has been done, had numerous studies on it, and it's been pretty cool, even a lot of breast cancer studies. So if you ever want to see the research on that, please reach out. Happy to share. There's nothing that's hidden in any of this. And what's cool is that the company does third-party research, which is really cool. This product is unique because it is not a multivitamin. Multivitamins over and over and over again have been proven to be a synthetic substance and to cause more harm than good in the body. So we do want to get our vitamins, our minerals, and antioxidants from real food, which is what Juice Plus is. And it's of course dairy and gluten-free. So for those people who have those sensitivities, you're not going to get any of that hidden in there. And we know that for sure because it is NSF certified, and it's NSF certified for sport as well. So professional athletes, Olympic athletes, they feel comfortable taking this product because they know for sure it's been tested to not have any banned substances, no chemicals, pesticides, or herbicides. And as I mentioned, it's the most researched brand name nutritional product in the world. Now here it says over 40 peer-reviewed published clinical studies. Yesterday, the chemical or the clinical biochemist said we have 47 peer-reviewed published clinical studies. So that is a lot of science reading. What's the point of it? Well, the point is to just bridge the gap between what we, probably are eating and what we should be eating, right? No one gets a variety of 30 different fruits and vegetables every single day. Now, if you look at this picture, we've got you probably have about 50 different fruits and vegetables and good healthy foods between all these products combined. So I always say to people, before most people get up in the morning, I've already consumed 50 different fruits and vegetables. And it's, no wonder why I have so much energy in the morning, which is pretty cool. All right, so there's 3 ways to get your healthy on, and that's the Tower Garden, which is what we're talking about today. My favorite is growing your own food with the Tower Garden. And then you've got your shakes, your bars, your chewables, and your fruit and vegetable powders in a capsule. So many amazing ways to get healthy. So I want to thank everybody today for joining me today. Hopefully I didn't go through that too fast. I just don't like taking up people's time too much because I know that time is our most precious commodity. So I really appreciate you guys coming on and listening. So I'm going to stop my screen here and jump on to see everybody. And if you have any questions from anything you heard today, please let me know.